Look on the screen. Black Lives Matter. Obviously, Black Lives really don't matter, but brother, mama, sister, friend, and baby daddy do. Check this out, ladies. Speaks volumes. Oh, fair use.
And just one board member acting as a CEO calling the shots. That is not oversight. What is drawing scrutiny is the use of donor money to hire friends and family. 3 expenses stand out. BLM gave almost $1 million to Damon Turner, the father of co-founder Patrice Culler's child, to produce live events. Another $840,000 went to her brother Paul for security. Culler's also admits hiring her mother and sister to work at BLM's LA mansion.
While my brother is the head of security and my mom and sister did work at the property, it's not like I literally, opened up the bank accounts and was like, I'm bringing all my family and friends in. Folks had skill sets.
BLM paid Shaloma Bowers $2.1 million for consulting. He and 2 others now serve on the board. BLM spent $1.2 million lobbying to impeach President Trump and eliminate bail. Culler spent $73,000 on a private jet and used BLM's LA mansion for 2 private parties, but she later reimbursed both. BLM dispersed $25 million in grants. They banked $41 million, including $32 million in stock, according to their latest required accounting form 990.
I actually did not know what 990s were before all of this happened. Some things being weaponized against us that many people don't even know and honestly don't care about. It is such a trip now to hear the word, the term 990s. I'm like, it's like triggering.
So experts say executives or the founder's family should not receive donor money unless multiple bids are reviewed by an independent board, and that did not happen. As for accountability, BLM had 50,000 volunteers and 1 paid employee. Diggin'?
50,000 volunteers out in the street, unpaid, day in, day out, 7 days a week, unpaid. But Damon Turner, so he got $1 million to host events, took care of baby daddy. Where are the schools at? Where are the schools for the children? It would be nice to have a school named after Tamir Rice. That would be great. Let's hear it one more time because I can't. Baby daddy, he got $1 million.
The father of co-founder Patrice Culler's child to produce live events.
Hold on, how much?
$840,000 went to
her brother.
Co-founder Patrice Culler's child to produce live events. Another $840,000 went to her brother Paul for security.
$840,000 for security. Then she got mama on the team, mama and her sister, another relative. Another friend gets $2 million. She didn't know what a 990 was. You think racism is your problem? You got a problem. We got a problem from within, and we don't want to talk about that. And they know most of us, a lot of people are not, busy trying to survive or not really caring about it. So you didn't know what a 990 was. So you didn't know what you were doing when you stepped into it. Why did you not get get a crew together? If it were me in that kind of situation, that's a lot of money. A major, major undertaking. The first thing I would do, I got to get a hold of some people. If you know some money people, might be a good time for you behind to call them. Get some advice. Put a team together. She didn't know what a 990 was, so it never occurred to you to maybe get someone that has experience in running foundations and running something of this magnitude. Where are the schools? And don't forget, $32 million in stock. Whose name is it counting? BLM? Raised on the Black Lives Matter, but it seems like to me on the baby daddy matter.
Acting as a CEO calling the shots. That is not oversight.
Unreal.
What is drawing scrutiny is the use of donor money to hire friends and family. Three expenses stand out. BLM gave almost $1 million to Damon Turner, the father of co-founder Patrice Culler's child, to produce live events. Another $840,000 went to her brother Paul for security.
There's a thing called, I don't know, I'm a little slow, RFP, request for proposal. Never heard of an RFP, request for proposal? And the people submit a bid in, and you go with, based on experience and what's most economical. Black Lives Matter. I guess in this case, her family matters, baby daddy matters, brother matters, mama matters. The money was not given for her to take care of her family. Don't forget, 50,000 volunteers. And now I'm starting to wonder, so when I went to that Black Lives Matter march, those people organizing, you didn't get paid? That was work. You driving your own cars, gasoline, you didn't get paid? I guess maybe they pay for the hotels and things. Hate to say it. This video is not going to be for everyone, and I just call it as I see it. Again, it's my commentary, and we can agree to disagree. But this is what happens when you have people. You want to talk about we need to separate ourselves. Separate yourselves and do what? Starve to death? We need to separate ourselves and starve to death? You heard what Steve Harvey said about they're not going to leave any money to the children. He and his wife will spend it. In a nutshell, that's pretty much what he said. Imagine if they were over the money for when the pandemic occurred. Many folk would have been outdoors. This is what happens. And I hate to say this. My opinion, when you have people who have never been in a position of power, don't understand it, don't know how to utilize it. And it's all a bunch of talk because they never had this kind of money before or access to it or oversight of it. And the mind is closing. It's not for you, girl, and your baby daddy and your brother, your mother. Where are the schools? Where are the community centers? Where are the literacy programs? You're basically making it rain off of Black pain. That's how I see it. 32 million in the stock market. Who's going to get the upside? It's not like I got the check, but looks like you did to me. And it just goes to show you. Collectively, speak for the average one that don't understand business. Look how many Black folks sitting up here worried about the darn rent. Where are the schools? Some schools need repairs. Oh, well, that's for the county to do. Look at Detroit. Kids are sitting in seats literally with raindrops falling on their heads. I can't learn. My book gets wet. Raindrops falling on my head. They had this song when I was a kid. I think it was, I believe, kid you not, when I was a kid, that was a major song. Something about raindrops falling on my head. So I'm not making fun of the kid, but it just came to mind. Seriously. I'm trying to read, but I can't. Raindrops falling on my head. Honestly and truly. Making it rain on Black pain, aren't you, girl? Where are the schools? Where are the community centers? Where are the scholarships? Put the money in the stock market. 50,000 volunteers, raised $80 million. 50,000 volunteers, and you got one employee. You had one meeting. Are you kidding me? Who's staying in the mansion? We need the address. Because I'm telling you, it might be a good time to go visit. Knock on the door. Maybe I should do that. Fly on up there, get a rental car, knock on the door and see if I can come in. Black Lives Matter. I'm black. Does my life matter? Who's staying here? Move over, bacon. Here comes Simply Said. But we shouldn't be surprised. Desiree Onyenejo, one of my first day ones, I hope she's still here, Desiree. And she said to me when I first started out, and I've got, like I said, over 4,000 emails to do videos on. She said, you should look at the relation of how when you have black leadership in America and in Africa, it's the same thing. The people don't benefit. This is a good example. Oh, speaking of, let's go ahead and get to it because I don't want this video to be too long. So I had this article here. I'm not going to read the whole thing. It's very lengthy in detail, but I want to point out something to you. The National Library of Medicine. Yes. You can check it out. Leadership and Health in Africa. So I'm just going to skip down to this part and tell me if this sounds kind of like something similar to what we're just looking at. Let's see here. I want to scroll on down. Oh, okay. So talking about the shortcomings and leadership. So it says, these very shortcomings certainly account for the weak health systems on the continent, where virtually, no, I'm sorry. You know what? Actually, my apologies. Let me skip that. Here's what I want to get to you. Let's kind of go further. So it's talking about leadership and how these things were, occurring. It says, incidentally, so think about Black Lives Matter. Think about all the black politicians that we have here. Incidentally, poverty can indeed be eradicated from the planet, but this requires leadership, commitment, community awareness, human sensitivity on the part of policymakers, actual action by both governmental, non-governmental, faith-based, and philanthropic organizations, allocation of appropriate and sufficient resources, basic education, and training in health-related issues that might prevent healthy conditions such as family planning and, above all, equal opportunity regardless of race, ethnicity, country, or geographic origin. It irks to hear certain politicians claim that poverty is a result of laziness, drug use, and excessive alcohol consumption habits, and other associated behavioral factors. The fact of the matter is, however, that not only are many poor people trapped in conditions beyond their control, but most would like to have gainful employment to support their families and, like everyone else, have a decent life rather than depend on the government. Now, quick question. Where's the job training? Where are the companies that you can set up? Where is it? How do the leaders handle that? How do they handle that? Let's take a quick look at this. Again, it's kind of a lengthy read, so I can't go into go into its entirety. Let's see here. Yeah, we're not going to go into the gold mine and all that fun stuff. Okay. So here we go. I want to end with this. It says, it was under these economic and ideological manipulations of the West that the second generation of leaders in Africa inherited the reformed or revolutionized previous government. So you're pretty much inheriting the same thing. The result has been the rampant corruption we witness today, with leaders who seem to be only half-heartedly committed to the health of the citizens, imposing an obvious mismatch of national priorities amidst flagrant elections rigging, open prosecution, again, this is in Africa, and elimination of vocal opponents, and consistent constitutional manipulation to allow themselves to run indefinitely, while siphoning off in the process the already looted national treasury and vast national resources. So what they're saying is like the leaders, basically, they keep themselves in power and they siphon off the resources. Black Lives Matter, one person running the show? You siphon out the resources as you see fit. It doesn't seem to me like you're qualified, in my opinion. Worse even than that, the new leaders allocated only 5% of the national financial resources to education and 3% to health, while favoring in employment and education, favoring their cronies and families. Boop. Is this? It makes me wonder, is this degeneracy like generic? Is it in the DNA? Worse even than that. So keep in mind how the money is spent. Black Lives Matter. And I think they still have, 41 million in the bank? Can you imagine the interest? Worse even than that, the new leaders, BLM, in my opinion, allocated only 5% of the national financial resources to education. 5%. And 3% to health. Keep it dumb and wish you dead. That's how I see it. Want you dumb and dead. While favoring, your brother, your mother, your sister, your baby daddy, in employment and education, their cronies and families, and often other ethnic groups to which they belong, to the detriment of everyone else in the country. Who does that sound like? To the detriment of everyone else in the community. Meanwhile, again, where are the schools? Where are the after-school programs? Where are the community centers? Where are the learning centers? Where are the counseling centers? Meanwhile, while the poor continue to get poorer in the urban slums and villages, the noble riches continue to get richer as parasites of the new capitalist state. Worse than that, the new leaders allocate only 5% to the national financial resources to education and 3% to health. One more time. Where are the schools, the counseling centers, therapy centers, after school programs, tutoring sessions, maybe a boot camp? Black Lives Matter? It just shows you that most aren't ready for positions of power when they do get it. The wrong ones get it, and it's a bad look. Black lives don't matter. But you can make it rain off of black pain. I guess to the founder, your mom and your brother matter, and so does baby daddy. Black Lives Matter. It should be BLDM based on this. Black lives don't matter. But again, it's the same thing in Africa. We separate ourselves. Good luck with that. So I wanted to share this with you. Thanks for listening. I know it went a little long. Oh my gosh. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe Simply Said is like totally over the top, but this just really ran me hot. Really. You've been hearing about it, but you're like, you gotta be kidding me. Really? You don't know to call in a team? So from Africa to the USA, this group isn't ready. Never will be. Black Lives Matter. Look where the money went. $1 million to her baby daddy to throw events. I'm out of here, people. Thanks for watching. Feel free to comment, like, subscribe. Please share the video. Simply said, share the video. I don't want to just talk about it. I want actually people to see it. I want people to actually see this, see the report. Oh, I don't like Fox News. Well, if that's the case, if it's not real, then she can file a lawsuit. It's public information. Thanks for watching, people. I'm out. Let's have the discussion in the comment section.